Hello. Okay, so I did this yesterday. I'm going to try again with adjusting my audio levels a bit. I kind of maxed everything out. So just bear with me because these are all like testing out my new gear and setup and stuff, and I'm a big newbie. So all right, I'm going to play a video I played last night because I'm obsessed with this song and it's good. It's a good test for me.
For a time we must leave. In dreams we are stirring. Sweet slumber to prepare us for the change that is occurring. Yeah. Oh yeah. Good times they come. Good times they go. When a hard time comes, I hope you know you're not alone. I see in you what makes you run.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Ginger and the Gents, for letting me steal your video. I didn't ask permission, but they should be fine with it. So hi, thanks for being here. If you're not watching this live, I don't think anybody's on live right now, but I'm just testing out some of my gear. So I got invited to do a couple things tonight, and so I wanted to still do a stream today and just test out my audio levels here. So I guess yesterday's video was quite low, and when I've been streaming all this week, it's been like 11 p.m. midnight, so I've been pretty tired, low energy, and I had a really easy work day today, which was awesome. Got to get myself cleaned up early, and I'm gonna keep this shorter than my other ones because I have to go pick up the kids from school. And so I named this stream Specs Appeal because I wear glasses, and recently I got some contacts to try out because I got new sunglasses from my job gave us some sunglasses as a gift, and I can't wear them without contacts. So I got contacts. I've been wearing them a little bit, and my friend was like, "Oh, where's your glasses?" Glasses are so sexy. So, anyway, I have just been reflecting on a lot of different things, and so I've been trying to find my voice here, doing these presentations again. Kind of just a video journal for myself more than anything, just to reflect. And it's kind of embarrassing, honestly, but I feel like it's important to for me to get this practice, because I've always wanted to do some of my own kind of video production, and I've been putting it off for years and years. I always worked for other people, supported their things, and I was more on the ground rather than behind the scenes doing the production. And I've had a lot of different ideas about things that I want to do, kind of from this side of things. So thankfully there's programs that are free and accessible, and so far OBS, at least doing the basic stuff, it's been pretty straightforward. I thought this image was hilarious because she's gonna lose her shit, but she's on a snail. So that reminded me of my mom growing up. I'd say she had a really like long fuse, and she'd put up with plenty and then just snap. And I think that's kind of my personality too. And maybe that's hard for other people, because it's one thing if you're just always hot-headed, all the time, but people get to their wits end, right? And especially as a mom, I try and keep this in check, because you can only calmly ask for the kids to do certain things before you really need to like assert yourself with them. And I'm generally not an aggressive kind of person, so if I get aggressive, I really don't like that behavior in myself, and that's something that I always beat myself up about. So anyway, I've just been thinking a lot about relationships and our relationship with ourselves, and how important it is to know yourself, because I don't believe you can really love others if you don't love and understand yourself. And I think that's where empathy comes from. And this world, everything is so inverted and topsy-turvy and bizarre. It just seems like we're really losing the ability to have the nuance in conversation, and people don't want to hear others' opinions. They're immediately ready to react, and a lot of folks will just go on their diatribes, and I do that. I'm that's what I'm trying to process here for myself is understanding my own hypocrisies and figuring myself out and learning how to uh, chill out, take it slow and steady. And today I had a big shock because it was really cold this morning. I got out to work early because I wanted to finish up. And generally, any given day, I'll be asked to take on more jobs. So today I had a really short schedule, and I wanted to start early just in case I was asked to do any more. And I was in somebody's backyard, and as soon as I got back there, they had a concrete pad for like a basketball hoop, and I just slipped on this ice, and like I carried this bucket around, and I like my elbow sort of landed on the bucket, but I completely fell on my butt, and I was just reflecting how lucky I was that I didn't really injure myself because um, it, for one, pain, to potentially being out of work, um, and just all that. So I was just so grateful that I ended up being okay. But it was just a reminder to kind of slow down. And it was like the first, 5 minutes of starting work that I did that, and so I thought that was a nice kind of just, oh hey, make sure you go through slowly in the days, and you can still get things done. You don't need to rush. You can take it slow and steady, and that's better for overall well-being. I've been learning that lesson time and time again. So I'm really excited. I get to go to dinner tonight at one of my favorite places, and my friend and I, we always end up going to the same place for dinner because it's great. And that's really funny because I have been trying not to go out to eat during the weekdays, uh, but this is my kind of little treat. A couple times a month is to get to go out with one of my good friends, and he and I have known each other for a long time. And when I was married, we really didn't talk. And oh, hi, who's there? Somebody's on the meeting, but you're not live yet. Hi. Okay, do you want to be live then? Hey, do you want to be live then? Well, you were muted. Do you want to come on? Okay, cool. Oh, okay, yeah. I was confused too because I forgot I had headphones in and I could hear you. Okay, cool. I'm gonna bring in my friend. All right, hi.
Hello.
Thank you for helping me test this out. Yesterday I did one, and I got some feedback that the audio was really low, so I bumped that up off the top of this.
You sound good on Jitsi. Let me unmute your YouTube.
Okay,
See if I
well,
can hear myself talk in like a second or two.
okay.
It's a long delay.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to check my stream that
You
it
do
goes.
sound pretty low.
Yeah, and that's what I can't figure out. I think part of it is that I'm playing through the window capture, and I have my desktop audio is really low.
Oh yeah, there's so many knobs.
So many knobs, but it's fun to play with knobs.
I love knobs. Buttons.
So yeah, I went from like 25% to 50%, and then I have the mixer kind of maxed out. So
let me unmute it again.
I just don't want to like peak the audio.
Oh yeah.
But I listened to the beginning of my show last night, and it was very low. So I'm just trying.
See how it goes.
I'm just trying this one again to kind of check what levels I should be at for everything. Because yeah, I don't think I can adjust the audio level on Jitsi, but like if I'm playing YouTube, I can adjust that audio level. I can adjust the audio on my mixer, and then since I'm playing through desktop, then I can adjust on my desktop. So
you can adjust my Jitsi volume.
I can. How do I do that?
As if you were on Discord, you hover over the person's picture.
Okay.
And there's a volume slider, or the three dots. I sound pretty good.
Yeah, I think you sound fine.
I do have hardware that will prevent clipping and backing out. So if someone else gets on and doesn't have that, it may.
Yeah.
I think if you go to the like grid, you'll be able to click the three dots on my like square. I don't know. There's a delay, so I don't know where you're at exactly, but the three dots on my square should give you a volume for me, because I can do that to you.
Oh, this is the other thing. Covered techniques screw somehow. I don't know how to see this title in the meeting. Oh,
that's the canvas, I believe. That would be the canvas side.
So can you change that somewhere?
Yeah, the settings, like the general settings. Let me open up OBS.
Okay. I'll have to figure that out because
it's super easy. That's
the name of the meeting, and then that's also in the link when you invite people to the meeting. So
it's like random words?
If I change it now, then it would maybe break that link.
So, because it's matching by window title?
Yeah, like that's the actual.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I like this. I had a friend call in last night, and
if you right click on my L, does it give you anything? Just curious.
No.
Okay, just wondering.
Oh wait, I saw something.
Yeah, the upper right, there's like a little blue. You could probably click that.
There. Okay, so you're maxed out there.
Yeah.
All right, so my friend, he's just very soft-spoken as well. But that's then tough. I bumped up the audio mixer, and it sounded pretty good. And I mean, all I know about audio really for what I'm going for is I just want it to match. I don't want my voice to be so much louder than any source that I'm playing, or if we're talking with people, I want our levels to be, fairly.
Well, pause on Jitsi or on this call that we're talking on real quick. Let me unmute your YouTube and see how it compares.
Okay. But I think it sounds okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
So, yeah, but this is cool because all I did was I just made 5 sources for the stream, and then this window capture, I just reorder it. So if I want to move off of this and back to my camera, then I just move that to the bottom.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward, huh?
Yeah. Now, I mean, my friends who are like technical directors and shit, and they know how to do like the different fancy transitions and all that. But for now, this is perfect because it's just simple.
So. Yeah, it's like week 1.
Yeah.
It's the season 1.
Yes. It's like the pilot.
Yeah, pilot season.
But I'm proud of myself because I've done 5 of these
Yeah, they're
every
like
day.
journals. Kinda.
Yes. Yes. And I got the dogs used to me talking to myself at the computer, so they haven't been freaking out like they were the
Oh,
first night.
that's funny. They were like confused.
Yeah, my little one especially, he was just like he was pacing around and like
Worried.
whining.
Yeah.
He's like, "What is she doing?"
Stop talking to someone. It's not me.
But I definitely can't stream when the kids are home and awake. So
Oh yeah.
all my other ones have been when they get to sleep. So that's why they've been so late at night. But
They want to hijack your stream, right?
yeah, I mean, they want to hijack my whole life. And
Well,
it's
that's cool.
great. It's a great problem to have because, you know, I
Absolutely.
always thought being a parent is so humbling. And,
You sound like you're having a good time.
yeah, they're great kids. You
Especially
heard
with the
them
whole-
last night. They were,
Yeah, they're fun.
my daughter was, you know, really amped up. And I mean,
What did you feed her? Sugar?
yeah, they just subsist on off of sugar. Actually, it's amazing because they did get a ton of Halloween candy, but they haven't been devouring that. They're just you know, they're pretty happy kids.
They sound, yeah, especially with like situation, you know, with you and you know, the guy and stuff. I don't want to
Yeah, no, it's been
say
good.
the D word.
I've been talking about it, and like I am grateful. Like their dad wants to be involved in their lives. When my parents got divorced, I had my dad and mom got divorced right when I was born, and my mom moved us to Florida with her new husband. So I only got to see my real dad like twice a year because he lived in California, and it's not to say he didn't want to be in my life, but it was hard. And then my mom divorced my stepdad, and he worked in broadcasting, so he was never really around that much, as it was. So it's nice that their dad wants to be in their lives, and we've been
don't sound traumatized or anything, or depressed or whatever.
Not about that. I mean, school can be hard sometimes. They get stressed out with certain school assignments and stuff. And
well, not anyone's favorite thing. Not my favorite thing.
No. And thankfully, though, they've been making some good friends. And last year was hard because they got a double whammy. They had to go to a new school, and then their parents separated. So last year was tough. But they have been doing really well. And I can definitely appreciate now more than ever, like, that if I miss them, I definitely miss them if I'm not with them, because I wanted to be a very involved parent ever since I had them. I never had him in
library.
I never had him in daycare or anything. You know, I worked odd jobs so that I could be with them, and I had family help watch them, which was very fortunate. But
awesome.
I wanted to be in their lives, you know, and I didn't think it made any sense to have kids if you couldn't be with them. And so I do miss them when they're gone. But again, I've just been reflecting on this for a long time, that I'm very lucky I do get some time to myself, because I just feel so much better overall. I just, you know,
balance.
I feel like I can be a better mom because of that. So
it's awesome.
Finding balance in life is a really nice nice thing to be able to do. And my friend that called in last night, I just met him on YouTube because we used to watch some of the same small streamers a couple years ago. And I used to be on the live chats for a lot of those streams.
That's
And
fun.
that's how I met this guy. And he's super nice. And he came on last night and he was talking about he's been working with a recovery program that's not AA. It's kind of new
What's it called?
program, and I'm going to have him on to talk more about it specifically. I want to find out how much he wants to like divulge about it. But he said it's sort of based off of Buddhist principles, which I thought was really interesting. And
I've
we
heard
were
of it.
we
I
were
think I have, because I went through a program a couple of years ago, you know, and they had these guys come in, and I think that's what they were promoting. That do you know the name of it? Do you not want to say?
I don't yet, but we were just chatting real quick about it, and I asked him to come back and do a whole stream about it if he's if he's willing to share, because we were talking about some of the stuff you and I have discussed, not on this podcast or whatever, but just about stigmas with having to be in like serious relationships, and how you have this pressure, like whatever it is, whatever pressure people feel.
Yeah.
And he was talking about that, and just how much fulfillment you can get from life that doesn't have to do with all those, whatever the society pressure is.
So much better without that stuff.
Yeah. And I think it's what exacerbates all the divide politically, because it's great. They've dialed in like psychology,
Use
manipulation.
computers now.
Well, yeah, and they've made it so that if you slightly lean one way, they're going to encourage you to go even farther to this extreme. Otherwise, it's like they make all these ultimatums and gaslight people into thinking, oh, well, if you don't believe this, are you even a woman? If you don't believe this,
Yeah.
like whatever it is.
Shame and guilt driven
Yeah.
social engineering.
Yeah, and then just like calling people names, like the ad hominem attack. It's like, oh, because you believe this, you must be a bigot. It's like, well, wait,
Oh, wow.
wait. But I was thinking about how it must be that a lot of these stresses are in a lot of ways a big reason why people do need escape in their life, and it doesn't have to be substance abuse, but that's a big one, right?
Yeah, so it's like the cheat code.
And I've never gone through a recovery program, but I definitely had to check my drinking and partying. And one thing that always I had such an aversion to AA specifically, just as an outsider, was like I hated this idea that it's a disease.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, we talked about that once, and I agree with your, like, what do you call it, reservations about it, because it is not like, I think ultimately it's a necessary stepping stone, but I agree that it takes the accountability away.
Yes, that's what you said that I couldn't remember, but that I love that articulation of it, the accountability.
Yeah, it's like,
and for sure, because that is one of my missions is like, how do we become authentic and accountable when we're so afraid to admit mistakes? And I used to say this a lot in my broadcasting work, because it seemed that everybody was looking for a scapegoat for problems, and I would happily be the scapegoat, even though I was kind of being silly. Like, I would get yelled at because one of my announcers wouldn't be in position where they were supposed to be. And I would be like, oh yeah, I am technically their babysitter, so it's my job to get them where they need to be. Even though it's a grown-ass adult that's getting paid 10 times more than me. And I would say, okay, that's my role. I'm the scapegoat for this. But for years, I've just been thinking about how if you admit your mistake, it seems that you throw yourself under the bus, because then everybody jumps all over you and says, yeah, oh yeah, you fucked up. And so how are we training people to be accountable and to fess up to mistakes right off the bat if you're so afraid of the backlash, And we should celebrate people saying, hey, I messed up, let's correct this immediately.
Yeah, I think luckily somewhere in like the actual 12 steps, they ease up and kind of switch off of the victim mentality. This is happening to me to I wronged people and myself, and then, I think there is luckily balance to that, but it is very off-putting.
Yeah.
To say the least, because it's just like a victim mentality.
Well, yeah, and thank you for kind of expanding on that, because I do admit I'm an outsider. I mean, I don't mean to judge something I haven't been involved in, but
I only did it for a little while.
Yeah, that was my reservation for sure. Just it's like from the outside, it's like I wouldn't want to be involved in something like that, because it doesn't seem to.
Imagine being like someone, like a family member or a spouse of someone who's like, total raging belligerent alcoholic or whatever, or causes problems, and they're like, it's not my fault, I have a disease, and then there's a whole team of doctors agreeing and promoting that.
Right.
It's not fair.
Right. And I think one of the things I've had to learn is that I was very much like a people pleaser kind of person, but I knew that was wrong. And it ended up, it was like I would hang out with people that were just like awful, but I would see the best in them. And so
been there.
It would take me a long time before I was like, oh shit, I really don't want to be associated with them. And it's not like, I still, in my heart, I see the best in most everyone. But
all I see is money.
Yeah.
I'm a hustler.
Yeah, me too. I gotta put all my links to my
like and subscribe.
Yeah, I need
Ferrari next week.
I need to get you guys all to pay me money for these brilliant insights.
Absolutely. We should be charged by a collection agency.
Yeah. Well, this is cool. I'm gonna go pick up the kids, and
they can take care of themselves.
Yeah, they can walk the 15 miles.
That's good for them. Make them read the Bible on the way.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
indoctrination is really important.
I'm glad you have your priorities figured out. Sounds like everything's stable. Let me know if you want to test stuff later.
Cool. Yeah, I think maybe I'll call you tomorrow in the afternoon, because
busy with the youngins.
They get to go with their dad tonight, but I got invited out. So
cool.
I'm gonna go get some cheese enchiladas.
Going on a date?
And
little first date?
No. I just been going out to I hang out with my friend, and it's like, where do you want to go eat? We always go to the same place.
That's cool.
It's great. It's super chill.
Yeah, so get good memories, and the place becomes sentimental.
Yeah, and and it's really cool because he and I have a lot of the similar conversations that you and I have when it comes to these like stigmas of,
Yeah.
okay, well, and he was telling me people ask him why he's single, why he doesn't have a girlfriend, why he's not in serious relationships, because he's like in his 40s, and you know
Hmm.
and he's like, well, I guess it's just because I'm a narcissist and I like to do what I like to do. And I just keep meeting people like this, and I find them to be the most authentic,
Yeah.
because it's like, it's so refreshing for people to be upfront and honest that, but it's hard for everybody else to take, it seems.
Everyone buys into the status quo, and if you're not, following along, then you're like, it's like a,
Yeah, and
reaction.
it's really too bad because and that's just what I've been trying to wrap my head around, like, why. And and I do have some really good friends that are women, but they tend to be older, and
Wiser.
well, it's different than, I guess, what seems to be affecting the people my age and a little bit younger, that are still in this like fantasy romance ideal. And
Still.
like, yeah, and I think the older women have figured it out a
They're
little better, but
a
I
little
think,
more cynical.
yeah, and then I think the men that I've been meeting tend to have been cynical from the very beginning, because they saw all this
Doesn't take
bullshit.
much.
Yeah, they saw all this bullshit, and they were like, well, and I mean, I've always kind of enjoyed being friends with guys because of that, because it's like, um I agree with most of their critiques of like how women act, especially in broadcast.
Oh yeah.
There would be like these women that felt like they needed to be really aggressive because that's what they thought, um having
It's like
power required.
the career demanded it or whatever.
And I think we do need to figure out how to be assertive, but that's different,
They're
and
not bullies.
right, and I would see that, the whole crew would react the same way to aggressive person. It didn't really matter what gender they were, but the women in particular seemed to think that they needed to be aggressive to have success. And I figured out when I was pretty young that the best way to get along was to just say, hey, like, I misunderstood something, and let's make it right. Let's just figure it out. And
Oh, that sounds very hostile.
yeah, it would serve me very well because I got gigs for 20 years without applying for jobs. People just
Awesome.
liked working with me.
Yeah.
And I was very fortunate because I had such a low end grunt kind of position, but it still gave me opportunity to work like atop the whole umbrella of like all these different technical people. So I didn't have to know anything about the actual engineering of whatever we were doing, but I could identify if something was unplugged, and I could put out these little fires out on the floor before calling an engineer out, because I could just see like, oh yeah, the announcer kicked the power plug out or flipped some surge protector or whatever. Something came unplugged.
You're like the thankless, wizard in the back fixing everything.
Yeah, I mean, one time I had to pick up a fucking camera and put it on my shoulder to hold a shot because my camera guy was like 100 yards away, just
Wow.
just walking slow, and we were like 15 seconds to air, and I'm like, okay.
I know you have to go, but how heavy are those cameras?
The handhelds are pretty heavy. I mean, I would guess 25, 30 pounds
It's crazy.
on your shoulder. You
Are
know,
they smaller ones now?
I think they're still pretty heavy, if not more,
Oh.
if they're like super high definition. But no matter, some guys, they wear these braces on their back, and then they have
Yeah.
like a thing to kind of take some of the weight off.
I've seen that.
But those are really, I don't think they can use those. The basketball cameras that they're holding them and they're under the basket, and they're getting those under the basket shots.
It's definitely a skill. Those guys, yeah.
Yeah, and they get killed. Like they literally get trampled by the players.
I want to see a documentary about these sports cameramen now.
They're grumpy, and they're so funny. They're such nerds because they only get to see through their camera view while they're working, and so they'll go home after the show and they'll rewatch the entire game just to make sure that some of their replays got picked up. But yeah, some of my dear friends have like killed their bodies doing that, and I have a huge amount of respect for it. But I realized, oh, I don't want to do that. You know,
I never knew about.
That's fun. I was kind of born into it. My stepdad, he worked for the Jazz in the 80s, and they sort of invented the team broadcast thing in the NBA, and they would just carry cameras over from the news station across the street to the arena. And when I forget the general manager's name for the NBA, Stern, he was the general manager for like 25 years. He loved the work of the Jazz broadcast. It's always been one of the best, and these are people that I like grown up with and known my whole life practically. And
the A team.
And then my stepdad got a job when the Orlando Magic got a franchise.
Do they really know Magic?
I mean, they got 2 number 1 draft picks in a row. They got Shaq and Penny Hardaway.
Oh, it's not just a dad joke.
But
Awesome.
It's weird. The Magic, the founders of the Magic, I don't know if it's still the same people, but the first owners were that Amway Corporation.
And what's up with them?
Amway invented.
Makeup?
They invented multi-level marketing. So it's like
Pyramid scheme.
Black magic.
Yeah, it kind of is.
You know, and then it's funny because in Utah there's so much of that. There's so many of those companies, and then they don't call it multi-level marketing anymore. It got a bad name, so they call it direct sales.
Ooh, have to watch out for that.
Yeah. Well, oh my gosh, thank you for testing this out with me. I think this was good, and I got about 45 minutes.
I'll send you an invoice.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, I won't pay it. I've got collections way ahead of you.
Don't feel obligated to pay it. It's fake, and you don't owe me anything. I'll do this anytime.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, and I'll send you a text tomorrow and see if you want to help me do some stuff off stream.
Cool.
Set some stuff up. So cool. Thank you.
Be around. Yeah.
All right. Bye. Sweet. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and I'll see you soon. Good night.